This is bellwork for November 8th. On number 1, we're trying to find each side of a right triangle. On one side we have x plus 2, on the other we have x, and the hypotenuse is 10. Alright, so first of all, this is a really hard problem. If you got this right without help, let me know because I'm going to be impressed. So to start, we'll do it like any other right triangle with the Pythagorean theorem. We'll just we'll do x squared, so this side, plus x plus 2 squared, so that's b, so we can think this is a, this is b, this is c. So we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, so 10 squared. Okay, and then let's go ahead and simplify the left side. So we'll do x squared plus, and if we take x plus 2 squared, that's the same as x plus 2 times x plus 2. And if we go ahead and distribute the x's and the 2's like that, we're going to end up with x times x, which is x squared. Then we have 2 times x, another 2 times x, and then 2 times 2, which is 4. So we put that together, we combine these, we'll get 4x. So we're going to end up with x squared plus x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 100. And then we just have to combine the x squares, so we'll get 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 100. Okay, so looking at the left and the right side, I see that we can divide both of those sides by 2. So we'll divide this side by 2 and this side by 2. And we'll end up with is x squared plus 2x plus 2 equals 50. And then that's a quadratic equation, so to solve it we're going to have to factor it. So I'm going to go ahead and make it equal 0. So I'm going to subtract 50 from both sides. And we'll get x squared plus 2x minus 48 equals 0. And then we can go ahead and factor it. So we'll do, looking at negative 48, what can we multiply to make negative 48 and add to make positive 2? And that's going to be 6 and an 8. So we'll end up with x plus 6, or plus 8, because the 2 is positive, times x minus 6. So let's check real quick. 8 times negative 6 is negative 48, and 8 plus negative 6 is positive 2. So that'll work. So the answers for this quadratic are going to be x is equal to negative 8, and x is equal to positive 6. Okay, so that's great, except we're doing a kind of a real world problem. We're not looking for x, we're trying to find each side. So only one of these numbers is going to work, and that number is going to be the 6. If I do the negative 8, I'm going to end up with negative distances on the sides, and that doesn't make any sense. So we can't use the negative 8, so we can just cross that one out. So we're going to use the 6. And that means that the A side is equal to 6, and the B side is equal to 6 plus 2, so it's 8. On number 2, it's asking us to factor the quadratic x squared plus 18x plus 81, and we're not solving it because it's not equal to anything, so all we have to do is factor it. So if we look at the 81 and think about what do we multiply to make 81 and add to make 18, and that's going to be 9 times 9 is 81, and 9 plus 9 is 18. So we're going to do x plus 9 times x plus 9. Or you can just think of it as x plus 9 squared. On number 3, we're simplifying negative 18x squared over 12x. And for these, I like to split them into two pieces. So we'll do the constants, or the coefficients first. So we have negative 18 over positive 12. And let's see, what goes into both of those? 3 does, and 6 does. So I think 6 is going to be our best bet. So let's do 6 times negative 3, and that'll make negative 18. And then 6 times 2 makes 12. Okay, and then we'll look at the variables. We have x squared over x. That means I can cancel out one of the x's, because basically here's what we have. We have 3 times x, and then down here we have 2 times x. So one of those we can get rid of. And we're left with negative 3x over 2. On number 4, we have to graph and find the x-intercept of y equals x squared plus 8x plus 16. I put this into Desmos and I came up with this graph right here. And that means that it's only touching the x-axis in one place, and that's at negative 4. So the x-intercept, and there's only one, is at negative 4 and 0. On number 5, we have square root of 5x plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 6. So we want to solve for x, and that means that first we want to get the part with the radical all by itself. So I'm going to subtract the 2 from both sides, like this, and we'll end up with square root of 5x plus 1 equals 4. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of that radical. We do that by squaring both sides. So we're going to square this side, and we're going to square this side. So that'll get rid of the radical, and we'll get 5x plus 1 equals 16. And then it's a much easier problem to solve. So we just subtract 1 from both sides. We'll get 5x equals 15. Divide by 5. And x is 3.